Hi Loomers, it's Michelle from Rainbow Loom, and today I'll be showing you a tutorial on how to make this curious cat design that I created using the new Rainbow Loom 360 kit. For those who don't know, the Rainbow Loom 360 is our newest loom with removable pegs that rotate in 8 different directions. This allows you to design your own loom and make some really fun creations. If you made the puppies that I created, then this design will be super simple for you because the structure of the cat and the puppy are really similar. I would consider this design advanced because there are a lot of overlapping bands, but I do think that this is easier than the puppies. For the cat, you do need to use the individual eyes and the animal mouth. You might have noticed that the cat uses different colored premium bands, and that's because today I am using the Amazon exclusive version of the Rainbow Loom 360 Freestyle Kit. You will be able to get these colors individually on the Rainbow Loom web store in the future, and Hobby Lobby stores will soon carry premium bands as well. This kit also has some different accessories. These are definitely more plant themed, and there are some different expressions as well. And the other accessories are in different colors compared to the Freestyle Kit. Okay, that's enough talking, I don't want to bore you. Now let's get started making our curious cat. The first thing you have to do is place down and orient your pegs in the right directions. To save some time, I will show the peg layout in sections, so just copy what I have on my loom. I will just go over how many pegs each row uses. Also, if the cavities feel tight, you can place the pegs on the 45-degree angles instead. Please see the description for the materials and number of pegs used. Here is the head, which covers rows 1 to 9 on your loom. Rows 1 and 3 both have 1 peg in the middle. Row 4 has 4 pegs. Row 5 has 1 peg. Row 6 has 4 pegs. Row 7 has 1 peg. Row 8 has 2 pegs. And row 9 has 1 peg. The next section is just the body, and this is from rows 11 to 21. You alternate between 1 peg per row and 2 pegs per row. So rows 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, and 21 all have 1 peg. Rows 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20 all have 2 pegs. The next section are the legs. The front paws start on row 11 and are both 3 pegs long. The hind legs start on row 19 and are both also 3 pegs long. And lastly, the tail of our cat is 4 pegs long. The pegs are spaced 1 cavity apart. Here is the full loom. Make sure that yours matches mine before moving on. Let's get started laying down our bands. Make sure that you have your tug tool and hook nearby while we do this. I have zoomed you in to the top of our cat, and we will first lay down the bands for the head. I will be making a green cat, so the matcha color at the top will be my main color. Then the bright green will be my light accent color, and the dark green will be my dark accent color. You can follow this type of color scheme if you'd like, but I think a solid colored cat also looks super cute. We will first place down a single band in the light accent color at the top of our cat. Now we will start placing down double bands, which is where we place down 2 bands at once. Take double bands in your light accent color and place those 2 bands going straight down. Take double bands again, back up, and place those 2 bands going to the left. On the left, we will take double bands in the light accent color and place them going straight down. Now we will place a single band, not double bands. So just take 1 band in your accent color and place it going to the left. Let's do the left ear next. Switch back to double bands and place those 2 bands going horizontally to the left. Then we will place down a triple loop cap band on the tip of the ear. There are a couple ways to do this. One way is to place a single band on the tip of your hook, twist once, and once more to get 3 loops. Grab all 3 layers of the band and place it on the peg where our cat's ear is. At any point while we are placing down the bands, feel free to take out your tug tool and push down the bands. Pushing down the bands helps make room for more on the pegs, and if you push down the bands below the peg ridge, it also helps isolate groups of bands so that it's easier to loom later on. Let's switch over to the right side of the cat where we will do basically the same thing. I am starting the right side off with my dark accent color, so take double bands of that and place them from the top middle going to the right. Just like the left side, we will place double bands going down. And I want my cat to look a little bit asymmetrical, so I'm actually going to take a single band in my main cat color, back up, and place that going to the right. Then I'm switching back to double bands and my dark accent color to do the ears. So place those 2 bands going horizontally to the right. On the tip of the ear, we're going to place down our triple loop cat band. Another way to place on a cat band is to place a single band on the back of your hook this time and twist once and one more time to get 3 loops of the band. We will insert the back of our hooks into this peg here and slide the triple loop cat band onto the peg. I'm turning the loom so that it's easier to see. Just insert the back of the hook and slide. And from the right side, you can see that this triple loop band is at the top of the peg. Now I'm switching to double bands in our main color, and we will place bands down vertically on the middle 3 pegs. So double bands first in the middle, then double bands on the left, and lastly double bands on the right. Then in the center only, we will place down triple bands, which is where we place down 3 bands. So not 1 or 2 bands, but 3 bands. Just place those down in the center. This will make your cat a little bit more 3D from the side. Let's work on the sides now. I'm taking a single band and placing it from the left, going diagonally down to the right. Now switch to double bands and place those 2 bands from the peg we left off on to the chin of the cat's face. Do the same to the right side. Take a single band and place it from the right, going diagonally down. Switch to double bands and place those 2 bands going to the chin of the cat. Before we move on, I'm going to quickly push down these bands. For the neck, take triple bands, so 3 bands again, and place them going down right below the chin. We're almost done with the head now. The last step here is to place on our tie band. So take a single band and place it across the widest part of the cat's face, like this. Tie bands hold our creation together, but aren't directly loomed with our hooks. And this is the completed cat head. Make sure that your loom matches mine before moving on. Let's start working on the base of the body now. We will mostly place bands starting from the bottom of the neck, going down to the base of the tail on the left and right. I'm first starting on the left side with double bands in my light accent color. Then I'm taking double bands again in my accent color and placing them going straight down. I'm switching to my main color and placing those double bands down on the loom twice. Then take a single band in your light accent color and place that single band angled up to the center. In the same light accent color, take another single band, back up, and place that going down. Then switch to double bands and your main cat color and place those bands going to the base of the tail. Now we can start again at the neck area and do the same thing to the right side, but I will be changing the colors a little bit. Place double bands in your light accent color from the neck going down to the right. Then place 2 sets of double bands in your light accent color going straight down. Switch back to your main color and place double bands going straight down. Then place a single band of your main color angled towards the center. Then back up and place another single band of your main color going straight down. Lastly, switch back to double bands and place them going to the base of the tail. Now let's work on the cat's legs. For the front paws, take double bands in your light accent color and place them going away from the cat's body. Then place double bands down in your main color. Then double bands in your dark accent color. On the last peg here, we will place down a triple loop band using a single band in your main color. Another way that you can place a cat band on is to place the band directly on the peg, then use your hook to twist the band twice, so that there are 3 loops in total. From the side, you can see the 3 loops on top of the double bands. We will do the same thing to the right paw, so 3 sets of double bands plus a triple loop band, but for the colors this time, I'm doing 2 sets of the light accent color, then 1 set of the main color, and the triple loop cap band is also in the main color. Let's move on to the hind legs. We will make a sideways V shape using 2 sets of double bands, and I am using my light accent color for both sets, starting with the one on top. Then we will place 2 sets of double bands going away from the cat's body, and I am using the main color for this. On the last peg, place down a triple loop cap band. Remember that you can use any of the 3 methods that I showed in this tutorial so far. Now let's do the other hind leg. Make a sideways V shape using 2 sets of double bands, and I am using the dark accent color. Then place 2 sets of double bands down. I am using the dark accent color for the first one, and the main color for the second one. Then place on the triple loop cap band on the last peg using a single band in your main color. Take a minute to push down your bands because we will be adding more on top. I know it's a lot. Let's place down some double loop tie bands using single bands to keep our creation together and looking 3D. Remember that tie bands are not directly loomed with your hook. We will place down 5 double loop tie bands here, so take a single band of your light accent color, place it on the back of your hook, and twist once so that there are 2 loops. Then insert the back of your hook into the first peg of the body and slide the double loop band onto the peg. From the side, you can see our double loop band at the top of the peg. Then we're going to stretch those 2 loops of the single band across to the other side. We will do the same thing 4 more times on the body. Again, take a single band in your light accent color, and if it's too tight, then you can lightly stretch the band. Then twist it once on the back of your hook. Insert the back of your hook into the next peg down on the body. Then stretch the 2 loops of the band to the other side. Do this 3 more times until the last peg of the body. So this is my last one that I'm doing. And then when you're done, push down the bands again with your tug tool. Now we will place double bands going straight down to the tail, starting from the neck of our cat. So just place double bands going down in the center. So this is the first set of double bands. This is the second set of double bands. This is the third set, and I switch to the main color. This is the fourth set with the light accent color. Fifth set, we go back to the main color. Sixth. On the seventh set, I'm switching to the dark accent color. Eighth set. And lastly, for the last set of double bands, I'm using my main color. On the last peg here, we will place a triple looped cap band. So I'm placing a single band in my main color on my hook, then twisting once and once more to get 3 loops of the band in total. I'm grabbing the 3 loops and placing them on this last peg. We are almost done placing bands. First, push down your bands on the cat's body to make room for more. Then I'm taking a single band of my light accent color and I'm starting on the second peg of the body. We will place this tie band in a triangle shape, so make sure this tie band gets stretched across 3 pegs. Then do the same right below using a single band again in your main color. And do that one more time right below. I'm using my main color again. We have now finished placing down all of our bands. Make sure that your loom matches mine before moving on. Also take a minute to push down some of your bands. I have my hook and tug tool here, and we are going to start looming the legs and ears on the cat first. We will just be bringing the bands back to themselves for all of the bands that we are looming, so there's no unconventional or tricky looming steps. I'm turning my loom so that it's easier to loom the left paw. Starting with the cat band on the front paw, stick your hook into the peg, pull back on the 3 loops of the cat band, grab the double bands at the bottom, and bring them back to their other halves. If this is too tricky, you can also grab one double band at a time. Move to the next peg, and we will loom this set of double bands next. Stick your hook into the peg, grab the double bands, and bring them forward. Then you can slightly turn your loom around, and we will loom these last 2 bands on the pegs here. Stick your hook into the peg, grab the double bands, and bring them back to their other halves on the next pin forward. Now I'm rotating my loom to its original orientation, and then moving our loom so that we can work on the left side. We will do the same thing that we did to the first front right paw. I'm first going to loom these 2 bands. Stick your hook into the peg, pull back on the triple loop cat band, and loom the double bands forward. Then loom the next 2 sets of double bands back to themselves. Stop once you get to the body. Now, return the cat to its original orientation, and we will start working on the ears next. I hope that angle was helpful in seeing how the bands are loomed. Now rotate the loom so that we can work on the left ear. Stick your hook into the peg, pull back on the 3 loops of the cat band, then bring the bottom 2 bands forward to their other halves. Return your loom to its original orientation, then rotate it so we face the ear on the right. We will do the same thing again, so just loom the double bands to the face. Return the cat to its original orientation again. Let's work on the left hind leg first. Loom the 2 sets of double bands forward, just like we did with the front paws and ears. When you get to the V shape here, we will first loom the set of double bands that are on top, so for me it's the one that's closer to the tail. Stick your hook into the peg and grab those 2 double bands, making sure not to grab any other bands. Loom them back to themselves. Now we can loom the other double band of the V shape. Grab the double bands and loom it back to itself. Turn your loom so that we face the other hind leg. We will do the same thing to this leg, so loom the 2 sets of double bands. Then loom the double bands that make a V shape, starting with the one closer to the tail, because that one should be on top of the other. Then loom the other set of double bands. Return your loom to its original orientation so that we can work on the next part. After looming the legs and ears, we will loom starting from the tail to the base of the neck. Just loom the bottom 2 bands forward. It does get a little tricky later on once we reach the body. So I have loomed the first 4 sets of double bands. When you get to the body, you will continue doing this, but you have to be more cautious about accidentally picking up other bands. The ones we are looming are the top 2 unloomed bands on the peg. I would recommend locating the vertical bands from the outside and tracing it back to the inside of the peg. If it's too tricky to loom both bands at once, remember that you can also loom one of the double bands at a time. The next set of double bands that we are looming are these 2. You might have to insert your hook in horizontally at first to make it past the other bands and grab the vertical ones that we are looming. This helps a bit because some of the tie bands are really close to the bands that we want to loom and are kind of in the way. The next set of double bands we are looming are these. You will grab these from inside the peg. Again, I'm placing my hook in horizontally, then twisting it to grab the double bands that I want. The next set of double bands we are looming are these. And this is the last set of double bands. Before moving on, make sure that you have loomed all of the double bands for the tail and the back. Now we will loom some of the leg bands starting with the right side. The first band we will loom is this one going from the center to the right. These bands should be the 3rd and 4th from the bottom. The next band will be a little hard to see, but is this bottom single band that is stretched across these 2 pegs. Just loom that single band forward. The last band we will loom before working on the other side is this one that connects to the middle. This is also a single band. We will loom it actually from the middle out to the side of the cat. Again, it's a single band that stretches across these 2 pegs. So stick your hook into this 3rd peg up from the middle and loom that single band down to the right side. Now we will loom the same 3 sets of bands but on the left side. Start with looming the double bands at the tail of the cat. Then loom this single vertical band forward. Then go from the middle of the cat and loom this angled band back to itself, which is out to the left. Starting from these 2 pegs, we will loom the double bands on both sides forward and then bring it in at the top. I'm starting from the 2nd peg from the bottom on the right side, sticking my hook into the peg, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, and bringing them forward. Just continue to loom the bottom 2 bands on the pegs and loom them forward. The last set of double bands on the right side are these that connect to the neck. We will loom those bands back to the middle to meet their other halves. Then do the same thing to the left side, starting at the 2nd peg from the bottom of the body. Just loom the bottom 2 bands forward. And this is the last set of double bands here. Just loom them towards the neck. Let's start looming the head of the cat next. We will start with the triple bands for the neck. Remember that there are 3 bands here, so you can loom one at a time or all 3 at once. Just make sure to get all 3. They are the bottom 3 bands on the peg here, so stick your hook into the peg and loom them forward. We will loom the right side of the cat's face first. I'm going to start from the chin and loom these 2 bands back to themselves on the right. Then loom the single band out. Then loom the other single band back into the face, and remember to ignore the tie band here. Next, we will loom these 2 sets of double bands forward. They are both the bottom 2 bands on the peg. And then you can loom this last set of double bands on the right side, going to the center. We will do the exact same thing to the left side, so back up to the cat's chin and loom the next 2 bands over to the left. Then loom these 2 single bands, with the first one going away from the face, and the second one going back into the face. Then back up and loom the 2 sets of vertical double bands forward. And loom the double bands here on the left over to the center. To finish off our cat, we will loom these bands straight forward, starting from the chin. Remember that these bands here are actually triple bands, so make sure that you are looming all 3 bands here. Then loom the next 2 sets of double bands forward. And lastly, loom the single band at the top forward. We have finished looming all of the bands of our cat, and this is what my loom looks like now. To end our creation, I'm going to make a slip knot using the last band, and I'm actually going to add another slip knot on just to make things more secure. From the side, you can see that there are 2 loops of the band on the last peg. We are taking the bottom loop and pulling it off the peg like this. This is your slip knot, so you can tighten the remaining loop to secure it. We will tighten it again after taking our creation off the loom. To add another slip knot, I'm putting my hook through the loop of the first slip knot and pulling a new single band through the loop. Put the loop in your hand onto the hook. You can see that there are now 2 loops on my hook. We will slide the loop closest to the tip of your hook through the other loop. Then gently pull on the loop to tighten it. Now we can remove our cat from the loom. I'm using my hook to help me. After taking your cat off the loom, you'll want to pull out the ears, legs, tail, and readjust the head and pop it out more. Just keep on massaging the cat until it becomes more cat-like. Then you can hide the slip knot using the slip hook. Just use it to thread the slip knot through the cat's head. To make a mini rose to add to your cat, you can place a single band on your hook, and this will be the rose color. Twist the band around 5 times on your hook. Then take another single band and pull the band that we just twisted onto that new band. It helps to kind of twist the loops off. Put the other side of the band on the hook and make a slip knot by pulling the loop closest to the tip of the hook under the other loop. Pull gently to tighten. Then you can double loop the slip knot onto the cat's head. After accessorizing, your curious cat is now complete. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial on how to create this curious cat design using the Rainbow Loom 360. We also have more 360 tutorials on our website, so check those out if you haven't already. If you make this, please tag us at official_RainbowLoom and use the hashtag RainbowLoom so that we can see your creations on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We also host weekly giveaways on our Instagram called our Loom Star of the Week contest, where you can win some fun prizes, so be sure to follow us there. In the description box below, you can find where to purchase your own Rainbow Loom products, including the new Rainbow Loom 360 kit. We have so many kits available, and there's honestly something for everyone. We are also selling some Rainbow Loom products on our TikTok shop, so if you're in the US, check out our store, which has some exclusive bundles and deals that you can't find anywhere else. And again, thanks for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.